Okay, so the alarm went off. That means that I need to go inside and be ready. But I've had some anxiety for the last couple of days surrounding what kind of stuff's going to come up. And yet I feel at peace, which is really, I guess, contradictory to everything, but in line with everything. So, yes, my necklace says believe, and it's a reminder to me that I have to believe that this is going to do something, that this is going to work for me, because it worked for me flipping and changing the memory when I came for 2 hours, and Robert was able to help me get past the emotional trauma that I've been carrying around and the body trauma, the body memories that I was having every time that I speak of the rape. And I knew that I had to keep speaking about it to somebody, because somebody was eventually going to listen and they were going to have the right answer. So I'm glad that, I had that tenacity to do that. It was exhausting, and I'm now 41. And it's interesting because I did some work in San Antonio with a totally different methodology or theory or modality. And it really worked. But I remember we used to do this mirror work. And she would ask me questions, and then we'd look in the mirror. She said, "Who do you see?" And I didn't recognize myself because I'd been in this trance, which I understand now to be a trance because of the way that Robert explained it. And I knew we went through trances in life, but I didn't apply the understanding of that to how I really was going through a trance. And I've lost so many years just existing, just going through the motions. And another year goes by, and another year goes by, and then I look at myself, and I just finished taking, yeah, let's tap on that one. I just finished taking a picture because I was like, well, I'm going to memorialize this day at the Meridian Convention Center. And it's going to be a very powerful day. Peace, joy, happiness. It's going to shift things, and I'm ready for it to shift things because, as you can see, I'm more than 100 pounds overweight. And I know those of you that know me know how overweight I am and how uncomfortable I am. And yet there's comfort in this. And I want it to change, and I see small shifts happening. I really do. I don't have the same cravings. I'm learning something that I never learned before, which is you don't have to eat all of it. You don't have to justify throwing food away. And that's something that I was taught young, very young. And then also all the other guilts of, and all the other feelings that come with, trying on clothes, feeling your skin in your body, feeling the clothes touching your skin, and some crazy idea that if you're thin, then you won't feel this clothes on your skin. It'll just be there. And I don't know. I think that's, a combination of the way society is and what they teach about how thin somebody should be. And I've always known in the back of my head, I don't want to be rail thin. I just want to feel comfortable in my skin. I want to not have to constantly think about my body in regards to anything, in regards to the seatbelt pushing up against my lonja. And for those of you that don't speak Spanish, lonja is your rolls. I don't want to have muffin tops or potato tops or whatever you call them. I don't want that extra excess of fat around my belly or my legs or my arms or my face. I want to shed this skin. I want to shed this shell. And I know it's a shell, and I've referred to it as my 100-pound unborn child. And the interesting thing is when I sat in the chair in October, at the end of October, when Robert was last here, almost 4 months ago, I had this wild experience. I had my period, And then my period stopped, and the night after, that night that I had the first tapping session was 2 hours, and then I was scheduled to come back 2 days later. The night after the tapping, I made love with my honey, my baby, and my period had stopped prior to that. And then all of a sudden that night, I just had this bleeding, and it was like a river. It wasn't even like a period. It was just clear blood. There were no clots or anything like that. And I know that's kind of graphic, but forgive me for that. In fact, don't forgive me for that, because you need to hear it. If you're listening because you needed to hear that. So, and my right arm started falling asleep. And I'm sure it fell asleep because it was in a funny position, but who knows? It doesn't matter, you know. I'm going to tap on it anyway, because maybe there's something else that's going on with it. So, anyway, back to that. So, since then, I have not had my period, and we thought maybe we were pregnant finally, because that was one of the things that we wanted, and we haven't solidified our union by getting married, because we always think something's going to come up, or we're going to walk away from each other, or we're going to have another fight, and let's not get married just in case, because we don't want to be the couple that breaks up. And he's already been through one, a divorce. But that's another story in another video. So today is week 16 or week 4. Well, shoot, it's in my book. I think it's week 14 or week 16 at this point. I've stopped keeping track. It's almost 4 months since I've had my period. And Aaron seems to think that it's my menopausal, premenopausal stage. Although early last year I had gone to the doctor and she said everything was fine. In fact, my male hormones were elevated and my female hormones were lowered. And I think that comes from my aggressiveness, my anger, not to say that all men are angry and aggressive, but that urge to want to dominate my partner, to subconsciously make him pay for all the things that I've been through with every other male, and how I was always projecting that on him. And of course there's other stories behind that, but so anyway, here we are. It's 8:09. I said I'd be here at 8, so I'm gonna walk in now with all my stuff, and I hope if one day you're trying to decide if you're going to come to a retreat, I urge you with all my heart to make the decision to come and do the research, watch the videos. Yes, you may be triggered by some of Robert's stuff. You may be triggered by his personality. You may be triggered by the fact that he has rings that match the colors of his shirt. You may have issues with the fact that he wears a thumb ring. You may have issues with the fact that he spikes his hair sometimes. There are 1,000,001 things for 1,000,001 people to find that would be a reason to keep them away. But I'm telling you, don't let anyone else, not even Robert, keep you away from coming to the retreats. You will get something out of it. Each and every person gets something out of it, and they get out of it what it is that they need at that time in their life. And so I'm very excited about today, and I'm very excited about what it's going to bring, not only for me, but for everyone who's participating. So I'm going to sign off. Love you. Hugs and kisses. I hope to be able to give you hugs in person someday if you decide to join us. Have a good one. Bye-bye.